afternoon. It is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021, and we are calling to order the traffic committee meeting at 3 p.m. I'm gonna go on to first introductions. My name is Melissa Demirci, and I'm with the traffic division of the city.
Jana Robbins with the West Covina Traffic Department.
Michael Ackerman, city engineer.
Corporal Mac Materos, West Covina PD Traffic Bureau.
Thank you. And I'm gonna move on to item 2, which is a review of the previous traffic committee items that were approved at the previous traffic committee meeting in January. The first item was a traffic review on East Garvey Avenue between Citrus Street and Bronco. The city had received a request to review traffic conditions due to speeding concerns, and it was unanimously recommended to remove and replace faded curve signs, add more visual awareness for drivers with posted speed limit signs, as well as pavement legends and double-sided chevron signs for both directions along the curb, as well as a T warning sign to alert drivers of approaching vehicles. The second item that was reviewed at last month's meeting was a parking review along Holt Avenue and Garvey Avenue. The city had received a request to review parking conditions along this segment due to vehicles parking for an extended period of time, as well as high-profile vehicles parking along the segment. It was unanimously recommended to install no commercial parking over 10,000-pound signs along the segment. With that, I will go ahead and move on to item 3, which is new traffic committee items. For item 3A, we did have on the agenda an update on westbound left turn signage. However, we confirmed in the field that the city of Walnut actually already completed the improvements, so we no longer have to have an action item or discussion for this item. So we will be moving on to item 3B, which is street sweeping along Sentis Avenue between Valley and Valley View Avenue within the city limits, and I will pass it on over to Jana Robbins.
Okay, so this item, the city received a request from several residents that trash is piling up on the east and both sides of Sentis Avenue because there's no street sweeping signs and cars are parking over an extended period of time. So they asked us to take a look at it, and so we're bringing it to the commission to discuss. Our recommendation is to post street sweeping, and this area is on Fridays, the second and fourth Friday of the month, so there'll be no parking on those days. Because as it stands now, street sweeping is voluntary, so cars, if they don't move away from the curb, the street sweeper just goes around them. So this area has had significant amount of trash on the curbs and the sidewalks. And then also, there's no residents that have driveway access on this segment in the city of West Covina. So I'm gonna open it for discussion. I think PD has some experience with this as well, this area.
Yeah, so in the past, we've experienced a high number of cars parking for extended periods of time. It appears that people are either living in their cars, using that as kind of their area where they kind of set up camp, so to speak. So yeah, a lot of trash has built up because they don't have trash cans there, so they just sort of pass trash into the street. In the past, we've marked vehicles for violating the 72-hour parking rule, cited vehicles, and even made some tows of vehicles, towed them away. So I think the street sweeping would be a great idea to encourage them not to park there. Maybe even if we had time limit parking as well, it might be useful.
Yeah, we kind of were thinking the time limit, we could always move in that direction if the street sweeping doesn't work, because street sweeping is, we know for sure on the Fridays, the second and fourth, street sweeping can get done because they have to move. And it'd be easier for, in our eyes, maybe you guys can enforce it because they know that no one's parking there. And the time limit may end up with that later, but it may be hard to enforce who's parked there, you know, let's say a 3-hour or whatever. It's a little harder to get enforcement, you know, involved in time and money and stuff. So it's something that we can look at, but as a first step, we were thinking that the street street sweeping, so we know that we can kind of clean up the trash with the street sweepers at first. So there's 2 days a month that no one can park there. And the segment right above on the west side, there's a housing unit. But right above that is, I think it's county, City of Belinda is county, I think. And they do have also, it's already posted for street sweeping, but they have different hours. That theirs is, 12 noon to 4 PM on Fridays. So I mean, you know, there's no access for residents here, so it may be overflow for people to park here and it may be inconvenient, but at least we know at first we can get our streets a little cleaned up a little better. Comments, anyone else? Mike?
I think it's a good move, it's the first step, cleaning up the neighborhood, and for parking enforcement.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get on that, then we can vote today to post the street sweeping, and then we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what kind of pushback or comments that we receive from the residents that live here, and if we have to, we can bring it back later to discuss different options, but hopefully this at least starts the process.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Do we wanna, have a motion to go with that then?
Yeah, so, does anyone have a motion to approve and recommend the recommendations as part of this report to post no parking during street sweeping days?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, all opposed? So this item unanimously passed and will be presented at the future city council meeting for final approval and installation from there. The next item on our agenda is item number 4, audience comments on items not on the agenda. For the record, there are no audience members present. Item number 5 is committee member comments on items not on the agenda.
No additional items?
And with that, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you.